So there are two ways of doing this. One, you can go over it with a rubber and just remove all the bits that you want to remove and don't need. That's one option. The second option you've got is to go over it with a pen. Now you can do this fairly neatly, but either way, it doesn't matter as long as you end up with the correct lines in. What you don't want to do with the pen is start going over these crating boxes. So we don't need the boxes for the wheels, we don't need the boxes around the engine. We do need to do all around the cab, and we do need the base section. But what you're going to have to do is build up from the front, so I would work your way back through the drawings, so the pieces that are closest here are the ones that are fine lined first, because that's the easiest way of doing it. So I'm going to do it with a fine liner rather than with a rubber. Like I say, if you feel more confident rubbing things out first and then fine lining, you go for that technique. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to start inking them in. It's a little bit awkward with an angle, so if you've got a black pen, just obviously get a black pen out. I'm not too worried about being a fine liner at this stage, because we do have a shortage of them in school. Miss or Sir, whoever's at the front, may have some spare black pens that you can borrow. But if not, see if someone else in the room has got one you can borrow. So I'm just going to do the front of the wheels for a start. Again, just going around them with the pen. You can probably do it a bit neater than me. Unfortunately, with a biro, I would really need the pen straight above the paper to do this neatly, in which case it would block off the angle for the camera. So go over them wheels. So you're just going over the bits that you would see. And then from there, just join the wheels, top and bottom. If you want, you can pop a centre on the wheel as well. And then from there you can rub out the lines for the wheels where those cubes were that you built in the first place. What it does is it starts to leave you an image which we can then use. So just neaten that up. From there, we use a ruler for this. I can now build up the front edge of the train. Come down at the back, so that will be one down, that'll be one down. I'm just going to link up where the lines would run between the wheels on there. That line at the back can disappear off round. And then we can again build up the front down here, because we're going to see that. And the wheel at the end can be drawn in. So, next thing I would do from here is look at where you've got this central section. Now, I'm going to bob the funnel at the top on first, just because this line here at the back is going to disappear behind it. So I'll ink the funnel in. And again, if you want to be a little bit cleverer, you can put a section in the middle so you make it hollow. Again, sweep it down there so it joins on. And then we'll do the circle. So with the circle at the front for the boiler, I work back from the front. And then we'll work along these lines at the back to see where it touches on. Again from the top, just that back edge there. It will disappear behind the funnel, and then draw on that back section there. From there, we know where this bit vanishes behind the boiler. You can see the bottom of the cab then, under here, front edge of the cab. Add in all the vertical lines, that section there will disappear behind. And then we can add in all the other missing lines as well. should do is have a nice train built up there. So there we've got the frame of the train, and then from there you just simply rub out all the pencil lines that are left, and that should leave us with a nice neat train. Missed a line down there. Missed a line in there. So those can just be added once you've removed the pencil lines, because you can see what you're doing at that point. Now from here, there are a couple of other things that you might want to consider adding. It may be worth adding on if you want to put a connector onto the wheels. So I'm going to go from the top of that wheel there, to the bottom of that wheel there, same on that one, same on this one. So you can just pop a linkage between there, give it a little bit of width, just to tart it up a bit. Steam engines had linkages, which is how they drove the wheels. So you had one driven axle, and then the driven axle would then power the other wheels. Those linkages on, they can just be shaded in. And then we're going to look at colouring in the next one.